Hello, beautiful beings. You saying hello, Doozer? You're so sweet. So I just wanted to show you a couple things, and then I'll say hi. Well, I already did, right? So anyway, a friend of mine and I were hiking years ago up a mountain trail, and this was sticking out of the muddy snow. And I was like, look, it's zebra wood. And I brought it home and I washed it off. And yeah, one second. It was definitely zebra wood. Isn't that crazy? That's the kind of stuff that finds me in my life. I hope you can see it really well. There, I think you can see him really well right there. His mane, his nose, his eyes. Yeah, it's just magnificent. That was in storage until yesterday. I was just like, I can't wait until I get more space to have most of my treasures out. This is my shadow box for those of you who haven't seen it. There's Nag Champa burning and a candle. And, I use stuff that I find. This was a really super old metal lid to something. I don't know. But I'm not a hoarder, but I know when I find stuff like that I will have a use for it someday. And then I was at Walmart and saw those candles and I knew that it would fit perfectly in there. Yep, Ocean, my mother Ocean gave me this dragon. She loves dragons too. Oh, good boy. What else? Yeah, for my last birth to Earth Day, my oldest sister Alethea gave me a bunch of treasures, and this is one of them. My mother Ocean gave me this genie lamp. My oldest daughter was hiking through the woods and looked down and saw this root, and it looks just like a baby hippo. So she was like, oh my gosh, that's a hippo. And she brought it right to me. She made an extra trip just to come to my house and give me that. Yep. Isn't that precious? And there's a hippo down there, of course. And Mother Mira. Yep. And this shell back here, everything, if you come to my space, everything has significance. I don't have a lot, but what I do have means a lot to me. But I'm not attached to it anymore. So this shell here, my grandmother had a rock in it for a really long time. Oh, this is citrine. I should hold this for a bit. Citrine, I've heard, is incredibly cleansing. So, here. The rock is with this hippo. There's my tiger's eye hippo. This is Poppy. This is also Poppy. My middle daughter, this was one plant not very long ago, about 4 or 5 days ago now, and it wasn't doing well. And so I asked if I could bring her home and try to revive her, and she couldn't quite let go of her the first visit, but I went back a couple weeks later and picked her up, and I was just like, how about now? And she said, okay. So she doesn't know that I did a major healing on Poppy. We did, and we split her up. She wanted to be. She was way too jammed up, and so I am nursing them. These are growing roots right now, and this one is growing roots right now. And I will give her more than likely this one when, when they really have taken hold. How do I know when they have rooted? I just do. And I was told at one point that you can't just stick something in the ground and have it grow. But good thing I didn't know that, right? Because I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because I could put that little stem in water somehow and it would root more than likely. But in soil, keeping it really wet, it roots way better than it would in water. So this if rock, my grandmother was well, my mom, she was I think she was 3 years old at the time, and my grandmother was digging in her flower garden. She had the most beautiful flowers, and she was just like, if only my husband would quit drinking, and if only we had more money, and if only, and tink, her little spade hit something, and she undug this. I mean, it was right, that's what she hit, is this rock. And she said that when she read it, she just felt this peace come over her, and she said that she always felt it from then on. I have to turn this flash off. It is brutal. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I try to do that to myself. I do like to watch the light go away. Right now it looks like a person running and kind of jumping up into the air, and it's bright yellow and like fuchsia. So I've been whining to the ancients. I could go buy some, but I like to ask for what I feel like I'm wanting at the time, because there's just so much magic in life, and I take any opportunity to find that magic, to see it. That's a huge reason why we will never charge for satsang, because I just loved the magic of it so much. Because when I have held satsang in groups 2 times now, not 2 separate times, but renting a hall and holding satsang, my space has been paid for without asking for money, donation only. And I hadn't even put a bowl out. And the first satsang ever, not the first one ever, but after that, a woman was just like, "Where's your donation bowl?" And I was just like, "I don't know. I don't have one." And because I just knew that would happen when it was supposed to, because that's how it works, is donation only. It has to be, because not everybody has money. And wouldn't the world be a much better place if people could actually get what they need without money? Yeah, so that's what I'm rooting for. So be the change you want to see in the world. That's a pretty good one. And all of my guides, as far as I know, they don't charge money. I know that, I mean, I've researched it so much, but they don't charge for satsang. They charge for, like, if they have large pieces of land, which I will, with cabins on it, places for tents, I mean, retreats. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. Plenty of space for everybody. What were we saying? I just totally got into the feeling of that. It was like a vision that was just now coming in. I could feel it so well. I've seen this before, but it seems a lot more clear right now. It's much closer, they're saying, than it was before when it popped in. Yeah. Okay, so is there something else to... Yeah, I like to right, not charging for satsang. And so, yeah, they do charge for, I think, like, really small groups from people all over the world. So, because, like, Eckhart, for instance, he can't just see anybody. It has to be, there has to be a price. There's a price that has to be paid, they're saying, to see somebody that is so sought after. So, who knows? But the money is, one-on-one satsang, group satsang, huge groups of satsang, I won't be charging for that. No way. That's all donation. Always will be. So as things unfold and time goes by, okay, thank you. I was just asking them, what in the world would we possibly charge for? And they're saying the books that we write. Yeah, I think I have 6 titles now. Maybe 2 of those titles of books are just titles to chapters. I don't know yet. But I do know that there are several books on the horizon, they're saying. And I don't know how to write a book, so I know somebody's coming. I've always seen that too. Yeah, I hold, thank you, that's right. I hold these visions very loosely. They come and they go just like everything else. And as Abraham Hicks says, when they do come in, I just milk it for all it's worth. Because one of the first things that I noticed that I lost the ability to do after my remembering experience with Muji is fantasize. Can't do it. I literally cannot go, I'm trying to right now, I want to fantasize about such and such. There's nothing there. Nothing comes up. And that's so beautiful because, and it felt really claustrophobic at first, 12 years ago, but I'm so used to it now. I got used to it right away because even if it felt strange, because I knew it was for my highest good and it was such a huge blessing. It was cutting down on so much mental activity already. And to me, this ascension, that's what it is. That's what it's about in a nutshell. That helps us get there where we already are. To get rid of, to unbury, they've said that so much recently, and I just love it so much. To unbury us, who we truly are, from the rubble of overthinking, of conditioning, of useless personal conditioning. And why is it useless? Because we are all conditioned. Yeah, we're all conditioned, period. But some of us are conditioned purely to satisfy other people's persona, other people's who they think they are. And so, I mean, that can be quite a mess. People are conditioned in so many different ways. But that's the beauty of it, is I don't even know how many different ways people can be conditioned. How many different subtle ways. Nobody escapes it, though, they're saying. Unless, like Alma, they come here fully remembering, fully knowing who they are. No forgetting at all. No. She was like that since she got here. And that's the second time I've mentioned her. I mentioned her in my last video too. I have a story about her. I know I've mentioned that. I can't just tell it to you though. It wouldn't do it justice when we see each other in person. Because I have a voice recording that goes along with my story about Alma. And that has to be a part of the story, or else it just doesn't work. So I just love that. I love that I'm seeing, the gang's all here. Ever since I went to Ocean's house that morning, and I meditated before I went, and then they showed up as we were doing a healing on Ocean. She's been in chronic pain because of her back and her hips. She has really severe scoliosis that never had anything, it never got taken care of. So, she's just so freaking adorable. And she has worked harder than anybody I know on overcoming conditioning. She hasn't had the easiest life. So the harder the life, the more difficult it is to uncondition that and recondition. And they're pointing out that the unconditioning helps us shine, helps us be a clear open channel, and that naturally reconditions basically this personality that is this physical form. There are, right, okay, so the newest, not the newest, but one of the most recent Soul Tribe members that have come in my experience, in my physical experience. I know this is physical too in a way, but she's like, we hang out. We just went and danced for 5 hours at the Stumptown Get Down. And I mean, we just had, my cheeks still hurt. And it's Tuesday. Anyway, so when I get to start holding satsang with people, there's things that old behaviors that aren't, they're old because we've been doing them for a long time, but they're still very active. And one thing I'm asking them, because I don't ever want to impinge on anybody's privacy at all. So things come up. The ancients are really, really big on, and so have been all of my guides. They're really big on speaking words that have the highest vibration possible. So if somebody, okay, yeah, this isn't even her, but if somebody is saying, I'm sorry all the time, that's a very low vibration. I'm sorry is meant to be, situational, not I'm sorry for even existing. That's the vibration of saying I'm sorry all the time. Incredibly super low self-esteem also, all low, low, low. So when I start holding satsang with somebody, I always make sure, and I ask several times, are you open to whatever comes through to you, for you, from the ancients? And they say, yeah, absolutely. Then if we're still holding satsang, weeks or months later, I still ask them, because by continuing to hold satsang with us, the growth has, the first encounter, the growth has started. And with that comes growing pains. And a lot of people have ran away from us because it started hurting and they thought it was me. The energy clashing can really make people, like a very high vibration encountering a very low vibration. They've showed me this so many times. It's so cool. Someday I'll meet somebody that's a really, like a composite artist, so I can tell them what I'm seeing so they can draw it. And so when a higher vibration collides with a much lower vibration, well, number one, it makes us really sick if we're the higher vibration person, and it makes the lower vibration person feel like they're on the best drug of their life. Yeah, and it's taking from us and draining the life out of us. Yeah, that can never happen without an exchange, without it taking from us. So if we're out here trying to, ancients, please help me not bunny trail. If we're out there trying to help people that don't want help, that have a really horrible, evil, sucky, dirty, slimy, sludgy, low vibration vibe, we're going to lose. We're going to lose every single time. We can only help people that want help and that come in our direction, not by any coaxing of our own. That's from the persona. They're saying people can feel it. People can feel it no matter how we act. They can feel it if we need something from them, from our persona, from our personal identity. I used to feel like I needed desperately to hold satsang with people because that's my destiny on the planet. That's what I do. That's what I live and breathe every single day of my life. That's basically all I think about, unless it's a lesson or somebody I love, but that's it. They're saying that's the undercurrent, and showing me that too. The steady current. So, but any type of need or longing or, all that gets burnt off. All of it gets burnt off to this pristine, receptive mode. It's presence, they're saying. The receptive mode is presence. This expansive awareness where everything I've ever wanted and things I can't even imagine, how beautiful to experience, they all come from presence. They all come from our natural state of being. And with enough practice, thoughts, my video yesterday was literally living proof of that, because when Rain sent me that message, the channeled message yesterday morning, and I went and cleaned a house and read it several times. I know when I get a channeled message. I know when it's not from somebody's, here, take my advice, I'm not using it. When it's from somebody's personal identity and they're trying to help, they're trying to be a good person. Well, That's just downright annoying to me, because I can feel that vibrationally, and it doesn't make sense to people. Some people, it does my whole family. It annoys the F out of us too, but we know that they don't know better. They're just trying to be a good person, but it's draining because they're taking from us. Anytime the personal identity wants something from somebody, it is taking from that person to feed the ego. But it's a lot of people's human condition right now, but a lot of people are remembering. A lot of beautiful beings are remembering. And along with that, like, the personal identity fine tunes and remembers also. It's very beautiful. And it doesn't matter how long it takes to ascend. I feel I will always be ascending as long as I'm in this physical form, which is just fine by me. Absolutely. So things like, then they can start feeling squeezed. And somebody that I've been holding satsang with for a couple months now, we've known each other for a lifetime. She's definitely a soul tribe member. And yesterday she said something about, oh, since you pointed that out, she said, and then this came up with it. And I realize I say that too. And it's all very just like habitual, self-defeating, like saying something, channeling something, intuitively knowing something, and then saying, I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's undermining. It's no. Those have to go. They're saying it's no bueno. Actually, that's my twin soul. Hi, darling. That's one clue that it's him, besides that it's him. So all of those things can really feel, and I said, oh, please, Opal, please let me know if you ever feel, because people have used this word, they feel like I am analyzing them. And they were immediately saying, because we voice clip a lot, we love doing that. And I mean, we'll voice clip all day long at times. We hold satsang all day. It's just so natural for us to do it. And she is as hungry for growth as I always have been. And it is quite a pleasure, because it has hurt her. And she does go away for a week or so at a time. But since I don't have any expectations of her, I don't need her in my life, I don't need to hold satsang with her. It is my absolute honor and joy to do it. And many will come, and I will hold them loosely also. Hold them for sure with a hug, with a love embrace, they're saying, but not hold on to them at all. So same goes, they're saying, with my divine partner that's coming in for me. It is a man, but he's incredibly balanced. I am seeing a man in my mind right now. Anyway, so he's very balanced in his masculine and feminine, and he is fine-tuning also right now, they're saying. And he has entered my orbit and is working his way toward me. Yeah, you know how we're like waiting for our ships to come in, and we're in this manifestational mode, and no, it's all here now. It's all here. And I used to be waiting for my ships, but we are the ship. It's true, 100% true. We are the ship. They want me to, they're saying that they want to point out the difference between somebody that's speaking from their heart, basically channeling a message from the divine, because that's what we are. That's what's beating our heart and breathing us, is creator, divine creator. So when somebody's coming from that place, from presence, there's no mistaking it. It's so beautiful. It's so genuine. But then, I don't ever want to throw anybody under the bus. Like, for instance, on my YouTube channel, I could get a comment that is coming from that person's conditioning from since they were a baby. And it is 100% the way the truth. That's it. And to them, for me to believe like they do would be the most loving thing that they could ever do for me. But see, to me, where I'm seeing from, when I get messages like that, and I talk about Jesus and the ancient, Jesus isn't ancient. This is my experience. They're with me. It's as natural as anything. It's as real to me as somebody reading a book and saying, no, this is the way. There's no other way. It just can't. They're saying that was kind of a poor analogy, because the way I'm seeing, where I'm seeing from, is incredibly expansive and all inclusive. So I do feel compassion for people that try to get me to believe in Jesus the way they do, like religiously. I do believe in Jesus religiously, which means every day, all day long. But not in any dogmatic sort of way. Just experiences in my life when I was just, and not being religious, but he has been one of the angels. Is there another word? Ancients, that has come in to help me at times. And I felt him and I saw him, and the miracle that I experienced in that moment of just going from absolutely losing my mind to 100% peace, that's a miracle. Even if it only lasted a couple minutes, that was enough to keep me going. And other angels have popped in too, but I haven't studied books and learned all these different angels' names. I don't need to know their names. That's a personal thing. I know that they're all here with me. And when I drop this physical form, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's so crazy, because I couldn't remember hardly any of you guys. So I was whining about not having any sage, and I could buy some. I love how we've been going full circle lately. But I like to say, ancients, could I please have some sage and Palo Santo and sweetgrass? And they're like, absolutely. And who knows how it's going to manifest, but I know it's coming. And that may just be me ordering it off of Amazon. They have awesome stuff on there. I've bought it twice now, like these big bundles of it. And it's just beautiful. I love the white sage the best. Any other type of sage that I've tried to get really, really makes me feel sick to my stomach. So white sage it is. So they guided me to this abalone shell that Ocean gave me. And it had 2 little pieces of, there's still a little bit of sage left in there. And I kid you not. When I was just smudging myself before I started recording this video, I was just like, oh, oh, the bottoms of my feet. I swear I can feel it. And I've been smudging for so many years now that, like with flowers, when I'm smelling flowers and I'm smudging myself, I all of a sudden see my body as you would through a microscope, and how they say that there's just space in between all of our molecules. We are space. And so that's what I picture when I'm smelling flowers. I permeate I suck in the scent and the color of the flower into into the space that is my body. And that's the same thing that I do with the sage or the Palo Santo or the sweetgrass. I have a little bit of sweetgrass right here that I watched my oldest daughter and my oldest grandson braid together, that she grew. Yeah, she gave me some sweetgrass, and I had it for a summer, and it wasn't doing too hot. She wasn't doing too hot. It was a girl sweetgrass. And so I brought it back over to her house, and she was doing much better for some reason. And then that next spring or summer or something, we harvested it and made sweetgrass braids. It's very special to me. So, holding on loosely, getting what we need when we need it. That's the definition of abundance. Ancients, is there anything else we'd like to talk about? I have felt incredibly balanced in every area today. Marijuana, I thank you. I smashed my bongs and I gave my pipe away. So I have just felt absolutely incredibly balanced. I'm not overthinking about it ever since I smashed them. And yes, that's right. Thank you. So the between the message that I got, the channeled message from Rain yesterday on my YouTube feed, and processing with the ancients all day, and then holding satsang with you guys, I got my aha as I was holding satsang with you, and I knew I had the shift. I knew that and I know this from experience, that once my light of awareness shines on, oh, wait a second, I thought that was me. No, that's just thoughts. The second I recognize that, that's it. They're going down. Because then, if they try to come in, which they haven't, if they haven't with any type of vengeance at all. Nothing that has even disturbed me. Nothing I've even had to turn my attention away from. They're way out on my peripheral already because I was ready. Yeah, I was fully dilated, they're saying. I was ready for this. I've worked diligently on this why marijuana is in my life. Diligently. Marijuana is another spirit form to me. Another mirror for me. Another beautiful mirror. Yeah, it hasn't always been easy at all. But what lesson is? Life isn't easy. But it's so much better when it's productive pain. So much better when it hurts. The growing pains hurt, but we know we're growing. We know we're actually getting somewhere. When we reach a point in our lives that we wouldn't even imagine, we couldn't even imagine letting somebody disrespect us. And we don't even have to be like, I will never let it be. No, it's not like that. That's the persona. It's a quiet knowing in myself that I will never again let somebody disrespect me. I will, and this is how. They're saying, okay, how will you not let them disrespect you? By not letting them have the privilege of being in my life, they're saying. Yeah, I've finally gotten there also. And this is really, I mean, this is all really been solidifying in the last couple months. And since we went and did a healing on Ocean, my mind tried to get in there a bit. That's what it is. My mind really got in on that one because I'm not advertising myself as a healer, even though we can do that. We can help people heal in certain ways if they are ready. It's a co-creative experience. So what were we saying about ever since we did that? Today I was able to do remote healing on her. Yeah. It's basically for Ocean. It is a matter of releasing the anxiety that has the grip on her. And it works. She gets real sleepy after we were done. It only took about 4 minutes. 3 or 4 minutes, Ocean. You're so cute. I love you so much. I can't wait to see you again. Yeah, and so, she was quiet. Ocean has had her remembering experience, and so she can turn her attention to presence. So she did that. So did I. I invited everybody to help Ocean, and all we did was we just held her in presence. and in her own natural state of being. And no wavering thoughts, no trying to make her feel better with my thoughts, no thoughts. And I could plainly see this is a gift. I could plainly see that she was having no thoughts either. And when we got done, she said that. And she was just like, oh, I feel so much better. She said, oh, I'm so sleepy all of a sudden. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's that presence. It's just relaxing into presence, into our own natural state of being, and what a relief it is. What a relief it is. All right, I think that's it for now. satsangwithmamaji@gmail.com. Yeah, and so my grandmother gave me the if rock, because ever since I was a kid, I was just absolutely fascinated by it. The fact that the divine gave her that rock, and she felt that peace come over her. And she gave it to me. Oopsie. So when she gave it, so she had carried it in this little pouch that I made when I was 14 years old. She carried this if rock in there, and you can see how it's wore right here because of this rock. And so she gave it to me all together. This is my medicine pouch now, and it just astounds me that I made it so very long ago, and it's still in one piece. It is never frayed. I remember making it. I was just feeling so much love, and I was so excited to give it to her. So, yeah. So, there's that story. That's it for now. Welcome, beautiful unicorn subscriber. How beautiful our interactions have already been. Yeah, my soul tribe is coming in. What a gift. What is that poem you're reminding me of? It's just a little short one. What a pleasure, what a gift to change your life with just a shift. All right, that's it. Like I say to all three of my daughters and my mom, you may as well just hang up on me, because I'm just going to keep talking. satsangwithmamaji@gmail.com. I think I already said that. We love you so much.